When I was 6, I looked like that. Can you see France in the world with their silly little truck toy, that silly little thing? Smiling was my thing. Book stories and adventures sprang out of me like the kangaroos which always seemed centred to the scenery. Don't ask me why, I was only 6. School seemed like a great thing. I was going to learn to read and write as simply as colouring, so I sat confidently in my first spelling class. I was taken back by the grown-uppiness of those brown-worded books, so I took my first look and wrote my title, Splings. I found it funny. So did my dad. My first strides into the world of written words had been illustrated by a simple misword. He was proud. When I was 12, I started to look a little bit more like that. I came from the range of the disengaged, the troubled kid who fidgets and sways his education and words round rampage in our muddled mind, the dyslexic youth, who despite being told that we cannot speak, that we should not speak, keep writing poems with terrible grammar in the hope we finally get rid of that fearful stammer inflicted on us by society who say we should not even try. When you said I had a specific learning difficulty, what specifically did you mean? As for the little girl sitting there blissfully unaware that her creativity, subjectivity and objectivity was a disability, telling her the way she thought was incorrect. How dare you take that away? In reality, being diagnosed with a learning difficulty didn't take away my creativity, but simply snatched away any confidence I had in my ability. For years, I sat in the back of a classroom, silent, mute. As it seemed, the blue lines of my primary school spelling book, now reflected in red across my thighs and forearms, dictated the path in life I was inevitably going to stumble. I came from the range of the disengaged, the troubled kids who pitches and sways as education and words round rampage in our muddled mind, the dyslexic youth, When I was 19, I started to look a little bit more like this. Words started to make more sense. Not your words, but the words I used to identify and belong. Whilst the scars on my knuckles still reflect the grinding of my teenage years, like those vast pioneers and barren frontiers, this is now who I am, and I've come to accept that. I now pay $9,000 annually for the privilege of a higher education, but it still remains that it's cheaper for a kid to remain in detention, which only explains why there's a lack of a motivation to encourage a child to find this salvation. I am that skinny young tomboy, and this is my silly little convoy. Splings. Still makes me laugh.